Is it worth your while to play a Death Knight in Wrath of the Lich King Classic right now to get this lovely looking dragon mount in retail WoW? In this video I will tell you my thoughts on why, well, there are some no-brainer kind of answers here in terms of why, yeah, well, if you're a mount collector, of course, but there are 3 very good reasons not to. I can see that the mount is gorgeous. I can see that it's gorgeous. I'm not denying that fact. It's a very good looking mount. But I'm not a mount collector, and I have a couple of mounts that are my favorite mounts that make me stand out of the crowd. This mount will not make you or me stand out from the crowd. I have Invincible, which I'm flying everywhere. That's a lovely little horsey with wings that is dropping from Lich King, and I got it years and years and years ago. It actually binds me to this game. It's an achievement. Invincible used to be like 1% chance of dropping, or maybe even less so, and I got it back then. So for me, it's also still a gorgeous looking mount, maybe not as detailed as these days they make it, but at the same time, this is a very special mount and not everyone has it. It makes me feel special. Second mount that I would always fly over this gorgeous looking mount is the Black Serpent of N'Zoth, because that was a massive solo achievement of clearing Horrific Visions in patch 8.3, the best patch with the best solo content. I still maintain my position that Blizzard has ever released. Horrific Visions were much harder and much better and a lot more rewarding, all round much better experience than, say, Torghast. So I have a couple of mounts that I will play always. I will fly on those mounts always. Right now they're giving us this very pretty looking mount with very nice looking detail, highlights and everything. Is it cool? Absolutely, I can see it. Will I fly on that mount around in Shadowlands? And we don't even know how much flying versus how much dragon riding will do in Dragonflight. Unlikely I will fly this mount. I will tell you straight away, unlikely. So kind of the urge in me tells me, yeah, go get it, because all they ask is go spend a few hours and play a Death Knight in Wrath of the Lich King. And I, of course, went through this just to make this video. But overall, I can save you the time. Just be honest with yourself. You probably don't need this mount, unless, like I said, you are a mount collector or you love it. There are a couple of other reasons that you should not dismiss. You will be just like everyone else. Right now, there are so many of these mounts in the game, because everyone is getting them. It's a gorgeous mount, yeah. And you will be just like everyone else. Everyone has the same mount. If you're one of those people who A, doesn't mind, or B, maybe even wants to be like everyone else, I don't judge, then yeah, then it's your cup of tea, then it's your mount. But if you want to show people, hey, I have this mount because it's an achievement, because I've done something special, or whatnot, you know, or just want to be unique for some reason, then it's absolutely not the mount for you. There are a couple of things which are important. First, they are asking you to actually spend some time in Wrath of the Lich King and in Classic experience versus what you might be used to in retail. And I can tell you, my friends, completely point blank, if you have not played Classic and if you're not a Classic player, it is a very jarring, very slow, very inconvenient experience, stripped of any conveniences of life that you undoubtedly are taking for granted right now in retail WoW. What I'm talking about? Well, I'm talking about things like you cannot skip without particular add-ons, possibly. You cannot skip the quest text. Everything is unfolding very slowly in front of you. The quest window is slowly populated with text. You have to listen to all this stuff. They slow you down drastically. Map is highly useless. There are no pointers to the quest objectives. There is no other stuff that we absolutely take for granted right now in retail WoW. You don't know where to go. You have to actually listen to instructions and say go east and stuff like that. So I personally, I make no excuses. I'm used to driving cars with automatic transmission, and I'm used to electricity everywhere and internet and other kind of stuff. I do not write letters with ink, and I do not use manual transmission, and I do not light up my house at night with candles. Do you know where I'm going with this? So evolution has a reason. The reason is convenience of life, and you know, some people consciously don't want it. Okay, fine, good for you, I don't judge. But I'm telling you that if you are like me, if you're some of those people who actually welcomes progress of the world and the game like that, it will be a very jarring, probably 3-ish hours of your time. And that time might be, I'm saying might be because I don't judge and I cannot assume for you, but for me, this time is absolutely better spent elsewhere. I'm a busy man. I have those 3 hours maybe to play in the whole week, and I'd rather do a Mythic Plus, maybe go do some LFR, maybe level an alt in the retail WoW. I would rather not create just a you know, an alt called Give Me Dragon in in Wrath of the Lich King just for the sake of getting this mount. You know what I'm saying? So that's something for you to consider. Just be real. Just be real with yourself. I think it's a good skill to have and a good attitude to have in general, like whoever you are, whatever you do. Finally, and something that I really have to mention, something that is perhaps a little awkward, but in this case it's a very real thing. So, if you have never played Classic, Wrath of the Lich King, whatever, and if you have never actually leveled a Death Knight from the very beginning, this reminds you just how kinda sad and kinda narratively oppressive, narratively saddening this experience is. They ask you to go kill civilians. These civilians shout at you, "I have kids, don't kill me," and you have to kill them just because you want a mount. You chase them down, men, women, you know. Luckily they didn't go down to children, and it's a very oppressive, sad experience is all I'm saying to you. Like, you don't have to have certain mental health issues in order to have issue with that potentially. All I'm saying to you is that it's a real thing for some people. So let's be mindful of that, especially if you are aware that, you know, you don't want to be sad, you want to be happy. And this kind of stuff, I guarantee, is not going to make you happy. There are certain elements where you need to kill a friend, an old friend in the game, like narratively, right? And they talk to you and you have to do the bad thing. And all of that you're doing what? Not because of the long-term commitment to this character, but just because you want some mount? Again, if I wasn't making this video, I would not bother. I personally would not bother. And again, I'm not a sensitive flower, far from it, but I'm a mature person who looks at real issues and takes these things seriously. So please, be mindful of that as well. Perhaps it is nothing for you. Once again, I don't judge. Good for you if you can just abstract it, compartmentalize it, and it's just a game and you don't care. But at the same time, if you're more like me, if you have a more all-rounded kind of look at it and a holistic approach, then it perhaps, again, just highlights the fact that your time is better spent elsewhere. Because what is Blizzard doing here, finally, as a wrap-up? Blizzard is trying to bump up the numbers statistically to show the stakeholders that people are so very much into their classic product, and Wrath of the Lich King launch particularly. They're hyping it up for you. For them, it costs not much to produce this mount and throw it at you. But they're trying to leech potential player base from retail into Wrath of the Lich King. Of course, they will have already a lot of people, but there is never such thing as enough on a balance sheet. Think about it. They want to give you something. They want to give me something in this case, and drag me from retail into Wrath of the Lich King for numbers, yeah, for numbers, for about those 3 or whatever hours. There is also a certain effect of a conversion rate. Conversion rate, speaking in mature, kind of grown-up terms, it means that when a certain product, that when you are led down a funnel, down a marketing funnel, hey, come here, get a freebie, or maybe get a very cheap product, which perhaps will convert you into buying a more expensive product, which in this particular case the funnel is, come just play a tiny bit and we give you a mount for free. Oh, you stuck here because now you invested into this character and now we have one more classic Wrath of the Lich King player to count towards our balance sheets, towards our stakeholder and shareholder satisfaction. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's another thing where you are just being kind of taken for a ride a little bit by a corporate machine, which we are not counting formally towards these numbers of reasons of why you might not even want to sample this product, to even go down that path, but that's another reason. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let's not judge each other, but let's exchange kind of opinions. Did you get the mount? Did you mind the slow leveling experience in Wrath of the Lich King, basically, of that Death Knight? Or did you enjoy it thoroughly? Once again, if you're a classic player, perhaps you did, and good for you. I'm really happy for you. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Yeah. And like the video while you're at it so that more people can see it and contribute to discussion, whichever side of the fence they sit. They might be pro this and they might be against this. But I think it's a sensible question to ask. So there you go. These are my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it somewhat, or at least it's thought-provoking. I would love for it to be thought-provoking at the very least. So please talk to me in the comments down below and like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos from me if you enjoy my content. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.